Remember, two rules, even and odd. One deck list is all even cards, and the other one is all odd cards. So let's see what they got. The odds are going to be really tough in particular. So we got even on even the start. I think these are the easier decks to build. You get 4 provision cards, which is a lot easier than most. They picked different factions here to try to see what was good. Patsy, my boy. Patsy, my boy. Patsy, my boy. Patsy, my boy. Oh, that's 10, right? That was like at 7 in hand. I am the fool here. I was like, 7. That's an odd number, but no, it's an even powered card. Let me look a little saner here. And let me look at this. It's odds. So this is an odd movement deck. I lied to you all from the get-go. That's the spirit, John. Versus even Skellige. Let's start by looking a little bit here more at the odd situation here. It is a Spell Scoia'tael deck packing Yrden and Scorch with a movement package. That is pretty creative, and a little bit of unitlessness at the end too. The unitless aspect to this deck doesn't really jive well. There's a lot of engines that are already going to take up removal. It doesn't really make, in my eyes, a lot of sense to pay premiums for stuff like Sabertooth and our Thesis, but you might have to just suck it up, say, look, there's going to be some cards I don't really want to run, but I'm going to have to run. So we got odd movement here. Because Thesis could be really big and hit by Scorch, but it just might not be better odd options here. And then we're going to have to compare that, let's see, versus this deck. I'm assuming, yeah, no Arnagad combo. That's not really an option, but it's just a nice standard control list. Lack of Madoff, from what I can see here. So we just got a control-ish Skellige deck versus a very engine-heavy movement deck. My gut is telling me that the movement engine actually should do a lot of work here. At a quick glance at Patsy's hand, he's lacking in removal here. Gutting Slash is some, but not much. Brightest Sea, it doesn't look like it'll really get online. It looks like Brightest Sea really is just for recasting Madrame, which, scarily enough, is actually a very good play. That is a solid 10 for 8. So this is basically like Super Golat. So probably Madrame will come down eventually. Let's see. Bricked on the portal on Bear Witcher Adept. I should probably be focusing more on what's going on board, but I think we kind of know what's going on. Gutting Slash disable the Dryad Matron. Get down the Cat Witchers. Bad row placement potentially from the 2 Great Swords on opposite rows. Not a big deal because if we click this, they both get +3 anyways. But we'll see. Instant verification here. Defensive verification, that's really strong. It's a newer card, but it's a 10 for 6 if you play it on a already used artifact like a location that's used the order ability, like a Megascope, like a Sawblood Totem, etc. So really, really smart. Shortener's Igni, is it cheating if you watch now? No, this is a casual tournament. There's no prizes except glory, so go for it. The new Puffball did make it into the deck. Deal 3 enemy damage to a unit, and then Deathblow poison adjacent units. A reverse of what it used to be. It looks like we're taking it in with 2 Puffballs and then 1 Forced Whisper to give you a little bit of flexibility. I think that's pretty creative. Not going for the Ranger, just saying, look, we're going to potentially put down a shield defending my units, but if I need to flex it into a situation where I'm missing the other Devil's Puffball, great. No big deal. Ooh, I don't know if I like this play. Because right now, Patsy has a really powerful pass. You know it's an odd deck. Mahakam Khorne is an 8. You can't bluff it. Oh, we got a player connection lost. I don't know what that means. I'm assuming it means the player connection has been lost. You can't bluff Khorne here because it's an 8. So if Patsy passes... Ooh, man, going for the kill here. Straight to the jugular.
Your body is stronger than your steel.
Wow, interesting. So Patsy is going to keep going, even though Patsy could go for +1 here. Probably wants to set up a bleed on this engine-oriented deck. And as long as Patsy has last say, what does his tall removal look like? Has an Axie for the Herald. So Herald might be completely useless if Patsy's able to take advantage of the situation and get ahead. Now, I want to stress, I think the odd decks are going to be harder here. Therefore, if Patsy wins, you still have like a mountain to climb, and we already see a pretty creative deck from Jatii here. Wow, Patsy with the pass. So now what? Patsy was already going to go +1 here. Does Patsy pass get the double last save, or does Patsy want to bleed? Is this tournament you're a moderator? Curry, welcome. Yes, this is my little casual tournament series, but it's really low-key Zaniac casual tournament series because Zaniac's the host, the master behind it all. I'm just here to cast the games, have a good time, and I'm glad you're here, Curry. We're going to be doing this for a while. Let's see. Cancel 4 minutes left. That is okay, Luckock. If James Games is in the chat, you guys can do a couple friendlies against each other and figure it out. If not, then in that case, you'll go ahead and advance on the bracket. James Games does have internet issues on occasion. And you might have dodged the bullet because he's won multiple tournaments now. I think he's won 2 under his belt. So he's a bit of a monster. Who can take part there? In these tournaments, anybody. If you've shown up, if the signups are going on for a couple weeks, and it's just a casual time. Heck, I'm even chatting with chat, and chat somehow is on the board anyways. But you know what? It's a casual tournament series. Why not have a good time? We see Patsy choosing here to go for the bleed, going for Quartermaster as an early, just like an early generic play. Sabertooth comes down. I really dislike this play. Sabertooth is pretty much what you always want to play if you're going first, because it's hard for most decks to get 2 units out on turn 1. So by going at second here, yes, it's safe, but nothing's really going to happen. I think Thesis was a wiser play. I think Sorceress was a wiser play. Sorceress Move might have been a play. Set up a 6-point card and potentially get ahead on points. Well, or get ahead on points and 6. So you can, if they pass, you go, or you force a removal. I think Tiger is fine. You don't want Tiger as your first play here, Frogman. I think Thesis is a more likely option, unless you're really afraid of Quen, which is a fair thing. It's a really good. All the girls are really good on 10. So we have Alzur sitting there. Scorch is a spell, so keep that in mind. And Alzur is a 10 provision card. So there are worlds where you can go Alzur, Scorch, and get double spell setup here. But I will say, Lacquer Neomancy is really hurting here. Artifact Compression. So it's gonna be, we gotta see if Jatii, when Alzur comes down, is able to A, keep it, and B, get the spells required. Yes, it looks like we got none. It's in. It's 7 for 8 card. Damage ally on the unit on the left, and then deal it across. In this case, and that's just getting played for 7. It's kind of a sus card. It's you gotta really play around it. You either need to do something like Portal and Bear Witcher Adepts to get a lot of value. Ironically, that is exactly what Patsy's going for in this case. Also very good with great swords. You can just heal them back up very naturally. Nut of Progress is another good example of Milky Biscuiteer. In this case, though, it looks like trying to take advantage of the great swords and armor. But in that case, that's not gonna happen. Just gonna have to play it at 7. And I will confess, as I heard this timing down, I thought I talked to chat too much and I forgot to click end turn, and I was panicking inside. That's right, I was panicking. Looking back at the hand, this bleed's going very well for Patsy. Patsy really is threatening to potentially just go for the whole hand. I think you'll see Patsy keep Axie till the end, probably running Herald, especially with Alzur in play right now. So therefore, you keep Herald. Like, if you're playing spells, probably running Herald. Wow, getting the double assay and the Alzur, that's just a devastating tragedy. At this point, you have a tough call. Poison's quickly becoming hard to pull off. I think Poison is correct play here. Just kill something, move on. You do want to keep the synergy here. On the off chance, like Elven Seer doesn't have that many things targeting in it in the deck. Actually, none now at this point without Sorceress. The other throwaway you could consider is that. Yep, they went for the poison, got the kill, and worked from there. Deathblow, got the double poison. Interesting. What a bizarre and interesting card. Oh, and there's the portal draw. That is a devastating moment. Patsy, it's one of the Patsy's best cards. I think you'll see Patsy move away from stuff like Tears of the Siren. Would not be surprised if this is first mulligan. Ladramae's the other one. You have too many alchemy cards in hand. I don't think you risk another mulligan here, because if you hit, yep, passes, because you don't want to hit a Bear Witcher Adept. Your hand would drop from really good to really bad very quickly. Additionally, Avalok is not very strong. Yeah, you got the great sword, but if it dies, you're in trouble. I like this a lot. 6 points. Set it up. Your goal is to be able to go Elven Seer, click, go wild. But the hand's really bad. This is not the situation that you're hoping to see for Jatii. Jatii's actually on the very much on the back foot in this case. Yeah, the engines just aren't going to pull it off. Patsy's looking like a quick win here. Will you double click? Ooh, creative play. Just saying, look, I'm going to keep going unitless for a bit. I don't need the rush portal. I don't need to get extra armor. I don't have nut in hand to take advantage of it. What I'm going to do is click here and use Majime just for 3 damage. Go offensive. Would not surprise me as a result. Next play with something like Reckless Flurry Lock. Or you can go portal here if you're not afraid of this. This is probably one of the better lock targets. You know it's odd, so Jezrus can't be played. Jezrus is a 12 provision card. Therefore, things are looking just fine for Patsy. I think this one's a pretty quick win for him. But, again, even decks should be easier to build than odd decks. I'm not sure how this one will pan out as a result. I don't know what Patsy's odd deck is going to be. It was a closed deck list tournament. It'll be interesting. Time will tell if Patsy will be able to 2-0 their way out of here. Will Patsy, a legendary tournament grinder in the online Gwen communities, I think Patsy's like in every tournament. Low-key, if there's a tournament, Patsy is there. That is Patsy's jam. Patsy, once again, might show us that dominating performance here. Already has another 7 coming, so it's really 21-5, and you only have 4 cards in hand. Yurden is obviously going to be useless here. Skellige is a terrible matchup for Yurden. We're going to see. Range Sentry, very sus. I mean, honestly, Sentry is just sus at this point here. There's not really any movement coming out of either player, but at least you're bluffing. You have some. Because he has this enemy. Oh, it's enemy unit moves. Yes, that is sus. Should be offensive. It does work with Cat Witcher Saboteur. It's not by row. It just says enemy move or ally move. But the players can stream snipe Curry. Of course they can. I don't care. It's on them. If they want to stream snipe, if winning a casual tournament where everyone just gets participation kegs is worth it, great. So, all good. That is it. What Bride of the Sea is going to give him away? So Bride of the Sea, they're playing it just as a very simple proc on Majime. You can go Bride of the Sea Majime here for a 12-point play, or even if you didn't have any armor, you can go Bride of the Sea Majime on self, and it would still be a 10 for 8. Which is as good as Golat. Bride of the Sea in this capacity is very good. Has to do defensive Yurden, but you can see this is just falling apart. This is just a tragedy happening. Exoskeleton, I'm so casual. The casual turn forgot to enter. It happens, it happens, it happens. Moving along, there's the Bride of the Sea. For a 12 for 8, that's really strong. Bride of the Sea might be underrun, but I guess still... Is that really better? That's a sus play in my opinion. I mean, I guess if you go tall, you're risking tall removal. It's one of the few ways to catch back up, but still. Unless you're really expecting something like a Scorch. Yeah, just a quick throw into the hat from Jatii. Not surprised there. And that's that. So Jatii is going to keep private that he's running Scorch and keep private Scorch and Thesis. Thesis you might expect if you saw earlier Tiger, but Scorch was hidden. All right. Ooh, we got some spice coming out. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Ooh, man, Patsy with a creative deck. Going back to that movement. Maybe odd movement is the future for this tournament. Odd movement showing up again with the Great Oak tech. Notice avoiding going out of the way to make sure they're that. Are you a 5 now? Yeah, I guess you are 5. Taking full advantage of the odds. Patsy's making sure to avoid the unitless stuff and take full advantage of going wide here. Using stuff like Yavin with the movement package because Sentry, of course, is an elf. Sorceresses are elves. What an interesting package here. I like it. I like it. But on the other hand, we've got something real nasty coming out here. Passy's 14. Passy's 14. It is a true, tried and true, classic Passiflora hitting cash. Our Syndicate deck, and that is going to be wild. Curry, how long will this tournament go on for? Probably 4 hours is the answer. Usually it's about an hour per round, and there are 4 rounds currently in the bracket. Sometimes less, sometimes more. It speeds up, so the first round is the longest because we have to wait for one match to finish, and then after that we keep going. It's not correct, John. No worries, Paulson. Thank you for pointing that out. Looks like everything's on track behind the scenes. Any other updates on the bracket? Strikelin has knocked out Old Lady Gwent. It looks like a 2-0. So that seems to be one of the first things. We'll see if Strikelin is going to be able to beat Jams, Gams, or Luckox soon. We're going to find that out. Brox Plus, welcome. Looking back at the board here, it looks like much of the standard stuff is going on. We have quickly just engines being set up. Again, because of the hidden fash. Again, it's becoming a crutch word, guys. I got to watch it. Like, like in my case, it's again. Or as I told you, or something like that. Got to avoid that. That's right. I'm criticizing my own commentary on stream. Looking at the situation here, taking advantage of hidden cash, got all of their engines online. Engines v engines. It'll be interesting to see if, in this case, Jatii's engines are actually able to keep up with Scoia'tael. It would not surprise me to see a Horson Jr. coming out soon, just to clap down on one of these engines. I think the obvious one right now is Sentry. The other choice is Catwitcher, but trying to get some control here seems, yeah, there it is. Seems reasonably important in this case. Old Lady Gwent, sorry you got knocked out, but I'm glad you had fun. Glad you had a good time. Don't worry, there'll be another tournament again soon. So, looking back here. Nice. Okay, so there goes the Lieutenant. Quick Nature's Rebuke. And since it's an odd deck, you see Force Protector ready to go. A really nasty brew. A little bit of elves, a little bit of movement, and just a whole lot of hurt. It's beautiful stuff, beautiful stuff. Where are we going to go from here? Well, I think you're going to see Jatii either do one or two things. Poison it. Now, we have enough poison in hand. We'll probably play it. Kill here for 10. Removed an elf. It has a little bit of extra coins. So, actually, the spend there was interesting. It means, basically, Jatii's indicating to Patsy, I'm not done with this round. You're not done with this round. I'm going to crush your face. That's right. That's why you spend the coins there, instead of trying to set up some coin carryover for a long round 3. Now, Jatii also might be making the read here. Look, Syndicate, Point Slam is the real deal. If I have enough coins, I can just play Sea Jackal for go tall. I can play Jock, go wide in tall. Philippa's insane. Short round of Passius, even if it's a short round, it's still a scenario. Jatii's short round should be fairly okay. At this point, you might say, look, looks like an engine-based deck. I'm just going to crush Patsy here and move on. Do the players see your cards when you look at the cards? I hope not. I have no idea, Curry. The answer is no, I do not believe so. But if they do, would not surprise me. CDPR's tournament, our CDPR server is known, our tournament server is known for a lot. It's an interesting time. So we're going to see a really interesting choice in a moment come out from Jatii. Jatii's going to have a 1 card that he can throw away here to get coins. He can get some points off a 1 card throwaway. Now, will Jatii choose to bleed or go for the long round? His deck is pretty flexible, all right, and they can go one way or the other. It's up to Jatii. Patsy really does prefer a longer round because we see all these movement engines. The longer round gives more time for setup for Great Oak. We see stuff like Yevon. We see like Trian. Thanks for the follow, by the way, Scorpion. Triambor. The short round's a little sus. Your best short round is going to be like a Force Protector here, but not that great. It ain't no Philippa. It ain't no Jacques. It ain't no Passy. Ain't no Hideout plus Poison. Ooh, random Rico Tech is hot. I like that as an answer to Herald. So, question is, where does Jatii go from here? Jatii's going to play something. If he plays a very coin-centric card, then they're probably giving up the round. If they're playing a non-coin-centric card, they're going for the bleed. This is a bleed move. So, how do I know that? Because you'd probably go Street Urchins here if it wasn't a bleed-oriented move. The only card I'm surprised not seeing is Dire Mutated Hound. Dire Mutated Hound just going off. You have plenty of coins. It makes more sense to me here. Jatii, okay, so does Jatii pass or go? I would be, yeah, there's the Dire Mutated. Maybe just checking to see if there's removal. We kind of get to cheat a little bit. We know there's not very much. You can brick this. You can keep knocking it off, but it's not necessarily going to do the good you're looking for. Now, an interesting thing is, okay, blue's looking for a card. Royal Decree, or Break the Drake. Break the Drake comes on down, deals 2 and 2. That's really good. Knocks off the shield here. I think the next play for me is, if I'm going this route, is either you can go bounty, get the coins. You want to get this back up and running. The safest bet is Street Urchin. Click once. You have 4 coins. You're doing fine. Go from there. Back Scorpion, because this is a tournament client. I am not playing. I'm merely commentating on what both players are doing. This is the even and odds tournament for people who are joining us right now. Both players have 2 decks. One deck is all even provision cards. One is all odd provision cards. And their job is to, they have to basically win 1 game on each deck to consider their opponent defeated. Right now, Patsy's up 1-0. His even deck is out of the way. Patsy now just needs to get 1 game win of an odd. Jatii needs to still win of both their decks. That is where we're at right now. You're welcome, Scorpion. Thank you for the question. Now, as you can tell, this is a very casual tournament. Is this live? Of course this is live. It's a casual tournament. I can talk on the chat. I can tell you stories. I can talk about whatever I want. I have unlimited power here, and that's the way I like it. We do see the poison here coming out. Let's see how we got that poison there. Am I blind? You fizz-teched there. He's looking for more coins. I disagree with the poison here. I think I would have probably poisoned Passy. Like, Dire seems like a much better engine here, and also Scoia'tael can be teching poison in their deck very easily, especially on odds. Therefore, little sus about the poison here versus poison here. But coins are good. Now we have to see how Patsy is going to respond. Setting up an engine. Jatii has the pass here. But does Jatii want to go extra far? Because one thing that's key is here, it's Horde 2. You have 6 provision you can spend on Philippa. You can just Philippa take the tree on board and say, I'm going to get another engine out. And just destroy you. Another bleed. If Jatii keeps bleeding, I think it's really good. I do think Jatii will have to play a good card here. I think Sea Jackal's like the bare minimum. Going for a good card. I like this a lot better. Preamp boards over here. Did lose. Okay, not enough coins for the Dire, but next turn going Street Urchin's pay is very strong. You can also go for Scoundrel. You can also go for Professor, kill something. There's a lot of lines of play here, which are pretty good for Jatii on the bleed. There's a real world also where Jatii goes -1 cards here. Isn't able to get the full hand. Maybe it would probably be not missing something really big. I think Great Oak and Force Protector have a high chance. If Jatii goes all in, I think they both have a high chance of having to be played here to defend the bleed. But a short round from Jatii is really painful. Jacques, Passiflora. These are not cards in a... They don't really... Like, those cards are strong. The Yavin comes down, snipes it. Jatii's only going +1 a turn now. And Professor comes down. Potentially, I think Professor here is very strong. Kills an engine, gets you 4 coins. You can click here, get an engine online. Go +3. That would be a 13-point swing. That'd be very good. What does the channel point reward financial thoughts stand for? Well, I used to work at a financial company called Vanguard, a brokerage company. So stocks, bonds, mutual funds, all that stuff. I know a lot about finance. And yep, they went for the line of play I predicted. Click here, 1, 2, 3. It's a 13-point swing, and all of a sudden, man, this looks much more dire. Pardon the dire mutated hound pun, but that is the case. Looks bad. But I used to work at a finance company, so I know a lot about finance, and I quit it years ago, or not a year ago, so I could try to help people do a little better. Yeah, wasn't able to hold this off. Now we get to the interesting part. Do you pass or play? This is the part where I think Jatii is okay passing on. You've bled out Great Oak, Yavin. You've got the whole leader ability gone now. I think I would feel pretty comfortable if I was Jatii passing here, saying, look, there's no way this isn't going to be the best. And you're enjoying the tournament this fun. There's a pass. Really good move. You have... oh, no, you lost the armor. Forgot about the armor loss, so you don't get ahead. But I think it's still probably correct to pass there. You're running out of coins. The other choice is... You have 2. No, not really much of a choice there. Unless you just want to yeet out 2 of the bronzes. Hit the Jacques. Do you hit Passy on the top? Rico going back. I'm surprised to see the Rico mulligan, to be honest. You probably have to put Sea Jackal back here. You have a lot of good spenders here. Okay, the hand's kind of a disaster. This is a really bad hand on a lot of levels. You missed your best card. Yeah, this is just a bad hand. This is the moment where you start to wonder if Devotion was worth it. Horse Hunt is really good, but like, let's see. You are even. So what? Roach, or is Knickers 8 now? Yeah, Knickers is 8. Like, you could run Knickers, get a little bit of thinning. I'm starting to feel really worried for poor Jatii here. Don't go down. I will say this hand is not particularly strong. You don't really have anything you want to stack to at least. You can stack a 3-point, so it's just a 9-point. Tribute comes down. It's going to be a Jacques play. Can Jacques defend? You have no engines in your hand. You have a lot of spending, though. Setting up the Gaten. Oh my gosh. Diana's dog, too. Welcome to the fam. Glad you're here. Excommunication. Oh, and they hit the Salamander hideout, but it's kind of like an awkward moment where it'll purify itself anyways. But you still go for the hideout here. You got to go for the hideout. You do the Abomination. That means now Phys Tech is unbricked. You can play Phys Tech for 6 instead of it being literally a 4-point card. Yep, hideout. Get the Abomination. New fan member, welcome everybody. I'm glad you're all here. So we got on the hideout here. Get the Abomination. You pay the tribute. Because paying a coin for 2 is one of the better deals possible. Purifies itself, but now you're kind of back online. That was a pretty good and significant hit. That was a bad row placement. You know they're running Cat Witchers. You've seen a Cat Witcher earlier. Why would you not think they're running 2? There's no real row punish, especially, well, I mean, I guess there's Yurden, but you can always have your last card be Street Urchins, build up your coin, and then just play it all offensively on the front row at the end, minimizing Cat Witcher damage.
I heard the Ethereal read minds.
Okay, so you'll see a pass here. Or not pass, but you'll send it back. Let's see. But, oh, man, this one's going to be close, guys. A lot of these cards aren't working as planned. At least, Elise, whatever it's called. Elias, whatever this elf's name is, doesn't have a good destroyed ally unit target. You have to stack a 3 to get 2 3s. It's just a 9 for 9, which is pretty bad, especially in current meta. You can do better. Hits armor. Yeah, there's a lot of little things here. There are little intricacies that are seeming off here. We're gonna see. Let's see what happens. There's the poison on there. Get the coins. Go. It is looking very good though right now for Patsy. Patsy has engines. Has some actually like enough setup to make the last card significant. Okay, so we go for the Sorceress. That moves back. Force Protector, Nature's Rebuke. Kill here. You should buff this once. I feel like that's a pretty obvious line of play. You know they're running their odds. You know they're running Nature's Rebuke. Paying the tribute, that to me is a little sus. I think at this point, there's not any card I'm really afraid of here. I think it was correct to not play it. Keep the 2 coins. Because it's a bronze unit, so the only time I really pay it is if I'm trying to brick something like a Mamuna. But in this case, that is not the case. In this case, it's not the case. Scoundrel's Tribute was a little sus there. Now it's kind of uneven, but the cards right now that Jatii is sitting on are much worse than what Patsy has here. I think Patsy's going to be taking this one in a quick 2-0. Getting through of an even odd deck. It's interesting that Odd Scoia'tael showed up for both of them here. Seems like a very powerful way to go forward. And we'll see how things continue forward. I think this was a sus play. I don't know why. Oh, I see why. Nope, never mind. Patsy calculating it perfectly. Gonna actually overfill this row at this rate. So, gotta be a little bit careful. With a max amount of 8. Yeah, this is just slaughter. Now, you can click Hidden Cash, get another 3, but you're not even in ballpark here. Now, will Patsy go all in with the thing, which is you click Dunka and you smack that, or will Patsy just pass? Now, Patsy says there will be no mercy, there will be no God today. I'm going to fire all the missiles for an absolutely one-sided slaughter. And Jatii, it was looking so good till it wasn't. Missing Passiflora was particularly devastating. It's a lot of provision to miss. Lack of thinning makes it really hard. But GG. Shout out to Ahmed Ali and McRandar for all their support on Patreon.